But before that, a new fund to help ex-rugby league players who are diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease and dementia has been launched. A link between contact sports like rugby and brain diseases is currently being investigated by academics and medics. Olivia Richwald has been speaking to Mick Cook, who is 62 and who played 259 games for the Sheffield Eagles and is now living with dementia.
Tackles, collisions and crunches from the Super League.
And that was a heavy tackle from French.
Rugby league just wouldn't be the same without the physical contact. But academics and doctors are increasingly worried that sport-sustained concussion could lead to dementia in later life.
Premiership winners, that one. Took some doing to get these.
Mick Cook played more than 250 games as a hooker for the Sheffield Eagles. He's been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease and is just 62.
If it's bad, you just try your best to try and keep your own self stored away somewhere if that's what it was.
He wasn't the biggest player, but he was really tough and he tackled a lot and he took a lot of impact when he was playing in his role. So we'll never know, but it does seem likely that it's played a part in it somewhere.
Professor Ben Jones is trying to make the game safer without spoiling the sport. He says big improvements have already been made, like new mouthguards.
How do the instrumented mouthguards work?
So the instrumented mouthguards are a gum shield that have embedded sensors in, and ultimately every time a player is involved in a tackle or collision, we can look at how that head moves, and ultimately we can get an indication of the magnitude of that impact. That allows us to be really focused in our interventions around reducing the higher magnitude impacts, which ultimately are a higher risk.
Players must now sit out for a minimum of 12 days after a concussion, and the charity Rugby League Cares is helping teach teams about how to reduce the risk.
Players spend their careers trying to look after every part of the bodies, but probably neglect the brain and their own heads. We can make it better and support people better, but we can support ourselves to be better too.
The charity has also launched a new fund to assist ex-players like Mick and his partner Karen.
Mick now comes down to the club a couple of times a week and takes part in the youth development programme, so it's something he's passionate about and can be effective in. And it gives Karen a bit of time on her own.
We've had a steady stream of rugby players coming over and friends from Mick's past, which has again been amazing because that's a part of his life that is really crystal clear.
Do you ever regret all the rugby you played?
No.
You loved it?
It's not worth it. It's not worth doing it. I just love to play the game.
Nothing can change the past, but Rugby League is trying to help current and former players have a better future. Olivia Richwald, BBC Look North, Leeds.
Let's have a look.